Devin and I first met, it's kind of a confusing story because we met like 3 times before we actually went out on our first date. We lived in the same apartment complex and he was hanging out with one of my friends, and I asked her if I looked okay because I had something else going on that night, and he was there, and I thought he was a really cute guy at my friend's house but didn't think anything of it. And I had this really crazy hair, I had blonde under it and blonde in it with black hair.
I guess the first time that we actually talked, we were actually in a bar downtown in Brookings, and I saw her and I kept looking at her, she kept looking at me, and we were trying to, kind of had the feeling that, we both had, trying to figure out who each other were. Um, and I just kept looking at her and I was like, I've seen this girl before somewhere, and it just wasn't clicking. And so I finally, after I think it was like the third bar we went to and we were at the same place, I went up to her and I'm like, I know you from somewhere, and I could tell she was this close to just shutting me down before I even said anything. And I guess I just said the right thing.
The next day he added me on Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's such a creeper. This guy added me on Facebook. And I was like, whatever, he's really, really cute, so I'm gonna add him anyways. I had all my roommates with me looking through his pictures to see what kind of guy he was. And then a few months, a while later, we started talking. I was like, how did you add me on Facebook or whatever? How'd you know what my last name was? And he's like, you're the girl with the crazy hair. I remembered you. Girls don't have hair like that. And then we just kind of kept talking from there. Our first date, let's see, we talked a lot via text and via Facebook. So our first date was just kind of like casual thing, and then we met at a coffee shop at Cottonwood, and we just sat and talked for a good 5 hours, I swear. We just sat and talked and learned about each other, and then we made it into a second date.
The first time I realized that I actually loved Amy was we decided to take a road trip. My great grandma's been in the nursing home for a while, and I haven't always had a chance to go see her. She's back in Phillips, South Dakota, and it's kind of a drive. And so I asked her one day, Amy was sitting there, and I'm like, would you like to go meet my great grandma? Like, getting older, and it would be nice for you to meet her. And we took, oh God, it was a 5-hour road trip back to Phillips, South Dakota, and we stopped in Midland as well. Saw my grandma Judy, and I guess just on the way it was a lot of personal time, just being able to talk, and there was no interruptions, nobody else there. And I found myself singing in the vehicle in front of her, which I love to sing by myself, never sing with anybody else. And I was able to do it with her, felt very comfortable with her, and I guess that was when I first realized that this was more than just my typical relationship. This was something serious.
By the time we realized that we were in love, I think it was only a few weeks into it, to be honest. We both it was so easy. It was the easiest, just easy to be around him, easy to talk to him about anything, and I thought he would fit perfectly in my family. And that's when I just realized it, that this guy is the guy. One of the craziest things that we've done together is when he took me shooting for the very first time, and he got pictures of it, because I've never shot a gun my whole entire life, and him trying to teach me how to shoot a gun I've never done. That was kind of crazy because I was freaking out holding a gun.
Just watching her face every time she did it was hilarious. It was just something that I guess I got to see a side of her. It was almost a vulnerable side. She was nervous the whole time, and she was just squeamish, and she was really wanting me there to help her out. And so I guess in my own way, that's a very romantic date in my opinion. The day I proposed, well, I bought a ring, and I called up my grandma. Actually, the first person I called up about, told her I bought a ring, and I think it honestly didn't surprise her. She met Amy only once at this point in time, but she didn't seem surprised, which kind of shocked me. I thought she'd be a little more surprised. It wasn't that long into dating, actually, and she asked about the ring and everything, and then I had to do the hardest thing in my life and call up Amy's dad and mom and ask them if they'd be around and be interested in having dinner at some point, which is awful to begin with, because it's just, there's no good way to practice what you're about to do, and you know it, and so you just, you're hoping they'll say yes, but every possible situation goes through your mind. And so I called them up, asked them. They said, "Oh yeah, we'd love to have you out." And so I would go out there, and I was putting it off till the last possible minute. I helped out her dad all day long, and we were cooking, we were grilling out food, and I was hoping that we could get through supper, because I was like, if nothing else, at least have a full stomach at the end of this. And we didn't even get the burgers hardly on the grill, and Mike sits down, looks at me, and goes, "So Devin, what brings you down here? What's on your mind?" It's like, you son of a... He cornered me, he knew it. And so I asked permission, and showed Amy's mom the ring, and they asked when I was proposing, and I was like, well, actually right after I leave here. And so needless to say, I was really hoping I get that yes. And I packed up after that, and I drove down to Sioux City. And
he said that he had to go to work early, so I had to leave to go all the way back to Sioux City early. And then I was gonna go on a walk with my cousin, Leanne. She lived in Sergeant Bluff with me, and so I was kind of just getting ready to go for a walk. And then fortunately my sister called me because she kept me at home longer, because that little did I know Devin was gonna be coming.
I ended up barely making it. I was texting her the whole time, and I do not condone texting and driving, but I was doing it at this point. And I get down and knock on her door, and she opens it, and she's got her phone, and she's talking to her sister, and she just like looks at me, what the hell are you doing here? She wasn't expecting me at all, and she goes, "Maria, I need to call you back." And then she just hung up. I had the ring open, was all down on one knee and everything, and
he said, "I want to be with you for the rest of my life."
she said yes. And then we spent the next while anyways making phone calls and telling everybody that we needed to tell. And it was interesting. It was a lot of fun, and probably not the most romantic way of doing it, but I'm more of the spontaneous kind of person for that. So
my ringtone for him is the 500 miles song, that I would walk 500
the Proclaimers,
miles.
yes.
I think it describes him perfectly.
I have My Girl. I figure it's pretty simple and self-explanatory, so works out nicely. Brown-eyed girl doesn't work too well with the green-eyed girl, so.
Yeah, I love it. I smile every time that song comes on. What I am looking forward to on our wedding day is walking up to him in the aisle, seeing that he's up there waiting for me.
One of the things that definitely every guy wants to see on their wedding day is looking forward to is when they're standing up there at the end of the church, I guess with the preacher, whoever's up there at the time, and all your groomsmen, and finally you get to see your future, very, very soon to be wife come walking out with her father and walking straight towards you.
Celebrating with family and friends, all of this beautiful day.
It's going to be great to have all the family there, both my side, her side, to see everybody, have a lot of my siblings meet her siblings. Actually, they don't live that far apart, some of them, but have never met, and so it'll be very nice to get everybody to meet and kind of get to see Amy and her family, and hopefully they'll have as good of a time as we will.
Our honeymoon plan, we're going to go to Jamaica. Neither of us have been out of the country, and Devin has never been on a plane. So this is going to be interesting.
Hopefully I don't have a panic attack too bad. I have been on a helicopter before. Scared the crap out of me, not gonna lie. My brother to this day still finds that hilarious. I suppose I'm gonna be relying pretty heavily on Amy to get me through the airport, because yeah, I've been in one to pick somebody up before, and that's about as far as that's gone. So
yeah. We're gonna go on a 4-day vacation, get a nice tan, and
drink too much probably.
have a good time. I just want to thank all you guys for coming today. Thank you for celebrating with us from near and far.
Hope everybody had as good of a time as we did.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, and future Mom and Dad as well.
Yes. Okay. Bye. Sorry.